What's up, guys? Welcome to the Modified YouTube channel. Now, before we get started in today's video, I have some really exciting news to announce for the channel. We have finally launched the Instagram page. That's right, guys. The Modified Instagram page is live now, and on that page we are doing our first giveaway. It's a 14-piece Chemical Guys car wash kit. So in this kit you could win. You've got your Chemical Guys butter wet wax, you've got your Chemical Guys honeydew snow foam auto wash that you'll be able to use in your foam blaster, and this foam blaster is for a garden hose, so you don't have to have a pressure washer to use it. Along with that, you're going to have your wheel cleaner, and then with that wheel cleaner, of course, you got to have a new brush, so you get that new brush. Along with some glass cleaner, guys, you got your vinyl and leather and rubber cleaner. Along with that, you got to have some microfiber towels, so that's what we're going to be giving you as well, along with a new microfiber mitt, a dirt guard to keep that mitt from going to the bottom of your brand new Chemical Guys bucket, and then last but not least, guys, you're going to have your little sponge to apply that applicant on the sidewalls of your tires if you're into that whole wet, shiny look. So you've got the what, you've got the where, now you just need the how. So you're going to go down in the link below and go to the Modified Supply Co. Instagram page. Once you get there, you're going to find the post with the giveaway information on it, and then you're going to go and you're going to like that post, also as well following the page, and then second off, you're going to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not already, and then third off, and most importantly, this is how you get your entry, you're going to tag 3 other people that would be envious of you getting this kit. Once you've done that, your entry is locked in, you're good to go, and once we hit 500 followers on that page, we are going to be doing the giveaway via a third-party software, so it's 100% random. So now that we've got that exciting news announced, it's time to get to some truck content. So this is what it is, boys. This is the Easylink Auto Agent 2.0. Now, this thing is pretty great, better than most programmers, because it's not really a tuner. I mean, it is a tuner, but it's not really tunes itself. And here, let me explain it a little bit. Let's get it out of the box first. So obviously, you know, you got your steps right here. It says step 1, download Easylink App from the App Store onto your phone. You'll want to do it with something that has some type of service, not just Wi-Fi. And then, you know, follow the screen instructions. We've already done that on my phone, so that's done. We have our Easylink right here, and you're going to see a bunch of different plugs on this. So I believe this plug right here is actually for a UTV, such as a Razor or something of that sort. And then you've got your USB right there. Like I said, guys, this thing has many different plugs on it, and for that reason alone, you're going to assume that you can probably plug it into more than just one thing, which is correct. You can use this is basically a computer to tune a bunch of different things. I mean, I believe right here on the box, let's see, yeah, right there on the box, it tells you all the different things you can plug in, tune, you know, go through the computer of, and whatever have you. So within our box, we're also going to get a nice little mount for the windshield. So this will be your windshield mount, and keep in mind, guys, I've already had this box open and messed with a few things, so the packaging is going to be a lot nicer on the one you buy. So anyway, this is for your phone, you know, stick up in the windshield. Nothing too exciting there, but down here is probably going to be one of the more important things. Get that back in there. So under this flap here, you're going to have another cable. This cable right here is going to be your unlock cable for your 2013 and up Cummins. See, it even says Cummins cable on it. So once you plug this into your OBD2 port, you're going to have this other little connector right here, which will plug into, you guessed it, the Cummins unlock cable. And what you're going to do is you're going to run this all the way out your truck, so over the hood. Under your intake horn, you're going to have another plug, and that's where it plugs in at. Keep in mind, this should only have to be done on 2013 and up, and whether or not, I think once you plug it in and unlock the ECM, you don't have to do it again, but I'm not 100% sure on that, because like I said, 2012 and down, you don't even need the unlock cable. So with our unlock cable not being needed, we're just going to put that back down in the bottom of our box, and they give you some tie wraps down in there too as well for mounting that up under there, which you can leave connected. Also, one other thing on this, you have an SD port, and that SD port is for data logging. So you can, you know, use that to data log and take the SD card out, or whatever else you want to download or upload onto it. You can use it via SD card as well. Step 1 with what we got going on here is we're going to plug it into the OBD2 port, which is right under there. Turn it the right way, of course. There we go, and then you're going to see that red and blue light. Now we're going to turn the truck to the on position. Don't crank it, just the on position on the ignition. There we go. You'll see the dash light up, but not cranked. And you're going to see the blue light, which means we are connected and good to go. So once our module light's blue and we're connected and we're in the on position, we're going to go over to our Wi-Fi settings. Make sure your data settings stay on for all this. Go over to our Wi-Fi, and you're going to scan for the network, because this modem actually puts out kind of like its own Wi-Fi network, which is not really Wi-Fi, it's just a way to connect to your phone. And you're going to see it as Easylink, blah, 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 whatever. I'm pretty sure those last few numbers and letters will change. Okay, so now we have it connected. So we'll hit done with that. Once you have that app downloaded and you have the wireless connection established to the little modem, the 2.0 auto agent, you're going to go into the app. Most likely you're going to get an update notification. That just means that, you know, the modem itself or the module itself needs an update. So you definitely want to go ahead and do that before you start tuning or looking at whatever you want or doing whatever you want on this thing. We're going to go ahead and install that. Make sure the vehicle is on. It is. All right, and we'll let it do its thing. Okay, so while we're letting the module update and do its thing, I want to talk about kind of basically what the title states. The reason I bought this not really was for the power gains as of yet, but the main pushing reason to get this was I really wanted the trans tuning to see if it really helps, because a lot of you know with the 68 RFEs, these transmissions, the shift patterns and the shift schedule from the factory, it just, well, it'll be flat out sucks. With that said, we're putting on the transmission tune right now. We're not going to put any power adder tunes just for the sake of seeing how this transmission behaves with proper tuning behind the stock power. As well as another reason we're not going to add power to it just yet is I would definitely like to get a valve body in this transmission before we go adding power. Even though that the trans tuning is going to hold our gears longer, which you'll see in the test drive, and also it's going to raise line pressure a little bit, which I believe the stock 68 runs around 160 psi, and the tuning is going to get us up to that 220, 225 range. Now, it's not going to do it just yet, because like I said, we're missing that valve body, and you know, you don't really want to go putting power to the trans, or a trans that's already known for being not that great, without having that extra clamping pressure for the clutches, or the line pressure, you know, the up line pressure for, you know, the more clamping force. But before I do that, I'd like to do a nice little detailed look through of the auto agent, just because it seems like a lot of the videos you see on the auto agent, there's not really a lot of detailed, you know, I mean, the tuning's one thing, but what all the auto agent can do is kind of like another. So is the auto agent a better alternative to say something like an MM3, or is it even a replacement for an Edge monitor? We have this thing fully updated, and like I said, back to the start, you have all these little blocks of different parameters. So as you can see right now, we have, you know, GPS speed, vehicle speed, engine coolant temp, engine RPM, trans line pressure, transmission temp, boost pressure, injection pressure. So with that, I'm sure you can only see we have 8 blocks here. But if you click on any one of these, so for example, we click on GPS and we go down here, you'll see we have engine coolant option, vehicle speed, engine RPM, battery voltage, transmission temp, boost pressure, engine load, injection pressure A, injection pressure D, throttle position, trans line pressure A, trans line pressure D, barometric pressure, turbo vane position D, EGR valve position, main injection quantity, mass airflow, DPF, soot load, EGR orifice temperature, main injection timing, trans output shaft speed, torque converter slip, trans turbine RPM, intake manifold temp, inlet air temp, ambient air temp, EGT, turbocharger speed, engine oil temp, engine torque mode, current torque output, trans required torque limit, DPF delta pressure, fuel pressure voltage, odometer, engine runtime, and key state. As you can see, you can press one of those to replace whatever you want on here, and by as many gauges as this thing has in readings and sensors, which is based off of all the truck sensors, you have enough here to really, you know, get you going. Up next is the way we display it. So you've got the block display, which, you know, if you turn your device sideways, you'll have it like that. And then also you have another gauge set, which is, well, just like normal gauges. So you can even turn those sideways and, you know, stick it up in your windshield and have gauges there as well. Also, you're going to have a graph style gauge set, which this is actually what it'll be like when you're doing data logging, which this Auto Agent 2.0 does do. You can data log with this thing and, you know, set up whatever you want and get as much data logging information as you need and get that sent out to your tuner. To get to the data logging, you're going to go up here to the right, and you're going to see record data log, and then that's what you're going to go to start that. Now that we've got the basic displays, you know, kind of figured out, you're going to go over here to your left and go to vehicle. So we've already got our vehicle put in, so you're going to have options to put in different technicians, EC profiles, which are your tunes. As you can see right there, we've got quite a bit. You're going to have your data logs. You can see right there, we have one data log already in. You're going to have vehicle details. So you'll go through, set that up to whatever you have. So, you know, your tire pressure monitoring system, if that's still in place or not. On this truck, it's not. Your tire size. You're going to have your functions. Now, this is where it's kind of weird to me. Back where you saw where we had our vehicle details, you think the tire size right there would be what determines, you know, setting up your speedometer, which you can do, but it's not. I believe that's just for the module itself, for, you know, sorting out the tuning and whatever it wants to do with the transmission tuning. But I believe the actual speedometer calibration and, you know, reset and all that you want to do with that is going to be in functions. So you're going to see right there, second to the bottom, set tire size, and you'll go into that to set your tire size. You're going to have another thing that says toggle fog lights, which I've messed with a little bit, but I really don't know what that is. You're going to have customer programmable functions, which I still don't know really much about that. You're going to have your ABS initialization, which is great for when you bleed the brakes, because that's going to activate your ABS module to get the air out of that and to bleed the old fluid out. And then you're going to have, last but not least, your 68 RFE Trans Quick Learn. Like I said, guys, one of the great things about this module is it's not locked to one vehicle. Now, the tunes you buy to it will be, but if you say have a Cummins and then you have a Power Stroke and a Duramax, you can use the same module to tune all of them, you know, with buying different tunes, of course. So you would go to My Other Vehicles and put in your different vehicles there. That's kind of the tuning end of it. Now you're going to go to your DTCs. So this is going to be where you read codes and all. So like I said, this thing is basically a code reader. Read, reset codes, see what's going on with your truck. From there, you can go to chat, which will actually let you chat with your tuner if need be. And then you've got CAN commands. This right here, I'm not too 100% sure on. But I believe these are just basic things that you would find from going in and looking at it. These are like the basic things you'd find in your computer up here, as far as, you know, setting your lights to when you unlock the doors, making the horn beep when you lock the truck. That's really all I could find in those files. Okay, so like I said, I did already get into this a little bit and download the TransTune. I actually did it about 500 to 1,000 miles ago, just because I wanted to see what the transmission would be like after everything kind of settled in. Because like I said, with these 68s, you want to go through, and you can even see it right here. It says, please allow the transmission to relearn after flashing. You want to drive 30 miles minimum under 30% throttle, as much stop and go traffic as possible. And the way you're going to know if you go above 30% is this dashboard right here, like I was telling you about earlier, is going to give us our throttle position. So right there, throttle position, you click on that, and now we have our throttle position. So right now I'm hitting the throttle a little bit, and even with the truck off, you can see it. So 30% is like basically not getting on your turbo at all. And like it said, you want to do it in, you know, in city stop and go traffic, because you're wanting the transmission to shift up and down as many times as possible. The more the better. It said 30 miles. I actually did probably 50 miles when I did it, just, you know, extra care, caution, because if you download a tune onto this thing and just go out and, you know, start racing people, you are risking, you know, really hurting the 68 RFE in this thing, and you don't need any help doing that, of course. When you first get one of these tunes, you're going to see this cloud right here, and once you hit that, it's basically going to download it onto your module, not the truck, like we've already done here. So as you can see, it's going to say reinstall, or in a case if you haven't installed it already, it would just say install. So I'm not going to do it because I don't want to have to drive around another 50 miles to let this thing kind of relearn. And really, it doesn't get good until I'd say around 500 to 1,000 miles. So even in the directions, if you go on the online manual, it'll tell you with this Easylink that this transmission, this 68, 50 miles is like the limit, or 30 miles is the limit you want to go for basic relearn. But as far as like the transmission settling down and, you know, not doing kind of weird funky shifts, you want to give it 500 to 1,000 miles. And with about, I'd say 500 to 1,000 miles on this transmission, it's definitely calmed down more. At first this thing was shifting like it was freaking a built drag car or something like that, but now that we have some miles on it, it's definitely shifting a lot better. It feels smooth, and then when you get on it, it definitely shifts harder. And like I said, it holds those RPMs longer and doesn't try to jump up into 6th gear like these things are known for. Other than that, you're just going to go through and follow the directions, which is like a couple key off, key on type things, and then waiting like 20 minutes for it to download. Going about it a fashion as if we had just flashed the truck, and you know, we're doing our break-in miles, which is at least 30 miles, not above 30% throttle position, which you'll see up there. You'll be able to see that 30% really isn't much. I mean, that's almost 30%, and that right there is just enough to get you going. So really, you're not getting into the turbo when you're doing the break-in procedure. Now, fast forward 50 miles, you're starting to get on the truck a little bit more. Maybe you do a wide open pull, maybe, you know, you do a 3/4 open pull. You know, the more miles the better, obviously. You get on it before you start really beating on it. What you're going to find is this thing shifts really, really hard. I mean, this thing, it shifts. When it shifts, it shifts. Don't be alarmed. That's perfectly normal. Just drive it, you know, kind of enjoy it, I guess. But yeah, it's going to shift kind of hard after those 50 miles, and it's going to do that for the next, I'd say, couple hundred miles maybe. So now we're going to fast forward 500 to 1,000 miles, which is where we are right now. The truck has the stock power tune on it, remember, for the reasons I mentioned before, but you can get on the truck now, and you've noticed that the shifting has smoothed out quite a bit. You don't really feel it shift hard until you really get on it, but the transmission is holding gears longer. It's not jumping into overdrive and lugging the crap out of the engine, and it feels great, and that's what I'm about to show you right now. That was a wide open pull, and as you can see, the pressure and the way the transmission shifts is a lot more firmed up. Now, right here, just kind of driving along at 40-45 miles per hour, watch as the RPMs don't, you know, bog down, you know, because it's not trying to jump up into overdrive all the time. So if this was, you know, the stock tune, you would be able to see that the transmission is staying really close to 1,000 RPM, only going 45-50 miles per hour, which is, you know, the transmission tuning telling it to go into 6th gear. So after a little bit of real world, you know, driving and everything, you saw how the transmission's behavior is kind of different, especially if you already have one of these trucks. You'll see that it was hesitant to jump up into 6th gear, really keeping the engine from lugging. It made the truck feel more responsive. It made it feel like it was in the right gear. You know, it just wasn't annoying, to be honest, because, I mean, who loves it going into 6th gear when you're driving along, you know, 45 miles per hour, and the thing feels like it's lugging to death? I mean, it sucks. With the behavior of the transmission solved, we also got a little bit more line pressure. I don't know if you guys saw down there in the corner, but our line pressure on a stock tune only goes up to 160, where we were kind of getting into the 170-ish range. So we're getting a little bit more line pressure with the stock transmission. Nothing done to this transmission at all yet. But to get that full 220, 225 that the tunes are capable of, we have to get a valve body. Without the valve body, that's not possible, and you're kind of not far off. I mean, you're still saving, you know, life of the transmission by not lugging in 6th gear and straining those overdrive clutches, but you're still not going to get the performance and the life out of this transmission, especially when you go up into the higher power tunes and until you get that new valve body in there. Okay guys, so it's starting to get kind of dark out. You know, it's winter time. You gotta love the winter time, you know, early darkness, but it is what it is. So I'm probably going to end up wrapping the video up here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have a better understanding of how the Auto Agent 2.0 works, and also exactly transmission tuning and how it can help your truck, as well as what you can do to further that, which we will be doing, as well as make sure to go on the Instagram page and enter that giveaway, guys. I'm really excited. You know, when somebody wins, I'm ready to ship that thing out. We've got the box and everything ready for it. So make sure, don't forget to head over to that Instagram page in the link below and get entered for that. Other than that, guys, I can't think of anything else I'm forgetting right now. So have a great day. Like if you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more awesome content.